Hello, 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 and welcome to the virtual Ramadan Kitchen. My name is Layla Mukhaber, and I am your host for this special hour. I am the Director of Communications for UNRWA USA, and actually, I've noticed that my notes are off of my screen, so I need to find them. So we want to know where you're tuned in from, what it is that, what your name is, and what your favorite Palestinian dish is. So please use the comments right now to let us know that information. This is going to be an incredible conversation in partnership with our partner, Mama's Palestinian Kitchen, and 6 legendary Palestinian chefs and food bloggers. For those of you that are new to UNRWA USA, our vision is that until there is a just solution to their plight, a world where Palestine refugees thrive. To achieve this, UNRWA USA lifts up the voices, experiences, and humanity of Palestine refugees to secure American support for resources essential to every human being for the promise of a better life. If you wish to share in our mission, please give as generously as you can during this powerful hour. You already know this hour is going to be fun and that April is for Arab food. Let's also make sure that this time is as impactful as possible for refugees. I'd like to welcome to the screen Abbas from Mama's Palestinian Kitchen to tell us why they chose to partner with UNRWA USA again. Abbas, welcome. Abbas Hamida from Ohio.
Hi, nice to be here, Layla. It is a pleasure to have Mama's Palestinian Kitchen co-host this event this year with you once again with UNRWA USA. We've been in existence now roughly almost 2 years in July with Mama's Palestinian Kitchen, and we now have almost, we're shy about 5,000 members. We will be 100,000. So we're approaching 100,000 membership. We just feel that we want to use our platform to help the community. And what better way than to help the Palestinians on the ground during the holy month of Ramadan, where we can have, your generous donations coming in to UNRWA USA, where they will be very helpful with Palestinians on the ground in Palestine. So we're proud to be part of this effort, and we ask you to please donate generously, and let's go ahead and help our people on the ground. So we're very proud as Mama's Palestinian Kitchen to be able to do that with UNRWA USA. Thank you for having us, Layla.
Thank you so much, Abbas. We'll see you later on. All right. I also wanted to say Lenten greetings to everyone who observes Easter, and we're just so glad to be here with all of you. Now, I will turn things over to my friend and colleague, Hani Al-Matoun, Director of Philanthropy, to tell us more about how you are supporting refugees through today's virtual Ramadan Kitchen.
Thank you, Layla. Happy Easter, Ramadan Kareem, everyone. Thank you for choosing to spend some of your afternoon with us. My name is Hani Al-Madhoun. I work at UNRWA USA as the Director of Philanthropy, and I get to have the privilege of seeing the generosity of our community across this country and, how we put it to work. This year is really specific for us for Ramadan. Obviously, there's too many challenges. We're focusing on food assistance for Palestine refugees. You may know that 70% of Palestine refugees qualify for food assistance. And, that because 35% say self-identify as extremely poor, the 35% other they state that they're poor. And ultimately, there's a lot of suffering. And with a big food package, we're doing a $50 food parcel that lasts the family for a month. And UNRWA is the greatest humanitarian engine for Palestine refugees by providing food assistance. Briefly, we may talk big numbers and all that, but quickly I want to share the story of Yazan, who's a boy from Gaza. You will see him in a minute on the screen. And I met him with the family about 2 years ago. And my kids, and he got along very well. He receives food assistance with his family. That when we talk about food assistance, in a minute, you will see the food package. It's lentils, chickpeas, cooking oil, rice, sugar, flour. And Yazan's favorite is the powdered milk that his situ makes it into yogurt and lebanon. He likes to have lebanon in the rice. So that's the stories we get, right? And ultimately, this is zakat. This is the zakat, the season for zakat, for generosity, and we'd love for you to send your donations to the families we work with. UNRWA, you know the brand, food. UNRWA remains the connection, that link that connects food and families in Palestine for years, for over 70 years. This has been going on, and we've been there in thick and thin for Palestine refugees because all of you, because you care about this issue, because this is the cause that you show up for. So just one more statistics about this. 64% in a recent survey that done by UNRWA, 64% of families in Palestine choose to skip a meal or two because the adults want to make sure the kids can eat, right? Because they don't have food. Food insecurity is a real problem that affects families like Yazan. So your generosity will help families like Yazan and his family and a lot more people who need your support. And this doesn't have to be $1 million gift. Your $5, your $10, your $25 make a big gift, make a big difference. Just last month, we raised $300,000 for Palestine refugees from the New York Gaza 5K, and average gift is $20, $25. So this is the power of all of us. So to make sure we're ready for this, my colleagues Nahed, my colleagues Venu are on standby, looking at your donations by our website, which is www.unrwausa.org/donate, and we'll keep you abreast of those numbers as they come in. So please match the moment or rise to the moment and deliver some generosity. And your gift, really, honestly, your gift will bring families together. So this way, mom and dad and Yazan and his siblings can share a meal together, as opposed to skipping meals because they want to save the kids the meal. So just think about the families that you will impact by this generosity. And obviously, please enjoy the food. There's too many great chefs and food bloggers who prioritize this issue. And I'm just like all of you, excited to see their creations while keeping an eye on the donations and support, because we really want to make sure that the families get to eat in Ramadan and after. So Ramadan Kareem, enjoy the show, and back to my amazing colleague, Layla.
Thank you so much, Hani. Oh, Hani just always touches my heart with his stories, and he spent a lot of time in Gaza throughout his life whenever he's been able to access it. I've also had the privilege to travel to Gaza 5 or 6 times now, a very rare privilege. So it's so important that we be showing up for our refugee siblings and be supporting these programs. I know you all are here for multiple reasons, but the heart of the show is the food. Like Hani said, the connection between food and families is UNRWA, so please make that happen. I'm about to pass the mic so you can meet 6 legendary Palestinian chefs and food bloggers. In order of appearance today, we have people from all around the world. We're going to start with Mai Kakish of Almond and Fig, who's coming to us from Chicago, Nadia Tommalieh from Seattle. We have Maha Kailani of Make Delicious Happen, all the way from London, Canada. And then we have Dena of Cook with Dena from Texas, from the Dallas area. We have Izzeldin Bukhari of Sacred Cuisine, all the way with us from Jerusalem, Palestine. And lastly, you'll hear from Marah from Bateekh Jebneh, which is such a cute channel name. I love it. Who will be delivering a message from Qatar this Ramadan. So yalla, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. My sympathies to those who are fasting, but you will be able to enjoy these delicious things soon once you learn how to make them. In about half an hour's time, you'll also have the chance to ask questions directly of our guest presenters. So I'd like to bring up to the stage our first presenter and the co-founder of April is for Arab Food, Mai.
Hi everyone, Ramadan Mubarak and happy Easter. My name is Mai. I'm the face and the writer behind a blog called Almonds and Fig. I'm so honored to be here today among great company to collaborate with UNRWA and the awesome work that you guys do on the ground and among our chef and blogger community. So glad to be here. April is such an awesome month. It's Ramadan this year, it's Easter this year, it's Arab Heritage Month, and it's also April is for Arab food. So such an exciting time to be sharing Palestinian and other recipes from the region. This year on April's for Arab Food, we're working on the Muna. Muna is the pantry, it's the Arab pantry, and growing up in Palestine, it's loaded with incredible ingredients. To keep it on theme for Ramadan, I wanted to share this incredible recipe for Jalab. Jalab is, or fruit drinks in the Arab world, we call them, or in the Levant at least, we call them sharab. Sharab is usually a fruit syrup that's condensed, and usually it's whatever's in season, whether it's grapes, whether it's dates, whether it's tooth, berries, and those get diluted with water. So Jalab is no exception. It's the drink for Ramadan. When I think of Jalab, it's definitely Ramadan time, and it's also the beginning for summer days. What makes Jalab a Ramadan drink? It is loaded with important ingredients, very simple ingredients from your pantry, but important ones. Dates is one of them. Ramadan is not complete with dates to break the fast, and this drink is made with either date syrup, originally with grape syrup, and today I'm using a mixture between the date syrup and the grape syrup. The date syrup adds a caramely taste, a little chocolatey notes, but the grape syrup is where the sweetness really comes in with few flavorings and some interesting thing about Jalab. I was so curious to find out why they called it Jalab, and I find out that Jalab is comes from the Arabic verb Jalab, and Jalab means to bring. So this drink brings energy. It brings refreshment after a long day of fasting. From all the, it's a high calorie drink because of the ingredients that are in it, like dates and raisins. And to add to those ingredients, the garnishes are also an important part of this drink. So it's Ramadan when you see the streets of Al-Quds or Ramallah or Nablus loaded with these street carts, sharab carts that are selling customary drinks to the occasion, usually jalab, عرق سوس, lemonade, amardin, and various drinks or laws, drinks are important for the holy month of Ramadan. So you're here for the drink, and we're gonna get started. To make this drink, you can make a whole pitcher and just leave it, or a bottle and just leave it in your fridge and just dilute it with water when you need to. It is really easy. It's a pantry staple. You could just make, but the best part about this drink are the ingredients that go in it. Okay, I hope I don't spill everywhere. I'm going to start with date syrup. So I'm going to mix equal amounts. Whatever you decide to do, just mix equal amounts. And if you're using just date syrup, then the whole amount will be date syrup. So date syrup went on in this picture. And then I'm going to mix equal amounts of grape syrup. Now, kharoub or carob is also customary to add to this drink. I don't have carob syrup, but kharoub in Arabic. It has a different flavor, and it's really, really nice. Here we go. So hopefully that's an equal amount. And there's no right or wrong. The recipes, Palestinian and Arab recipes, are so easy to adjust. To this is pretty much it. To this mixture, we're going to add rose water. And that's the flavoring that goes into this drink. Now, depending on your rose water, you want to add a little bit or as much as you want. But start with a teaspoon and adjust from there. So we're going to go with about that's a little more than a teaspoon. But then, so you're going to mix all this together. You can keep this mixture, put it in a bottle or a jar, and just put it straight in your fridge. Today, obviously, we're going to serve it as a drink, and I'm going to talk about the ingredient that makes this drink unique. So this is, I think, hopefully mixed through. The drink, the important part about this drink, or how it was traditionally made, is using bakhur, incense. Bakhur is customary in the Arab world, whether it's for spiritual reasons, perfume, or even flavorings. Specific bakhurs are used for this drink originally, and they would smoke usually either the date syrup, the grape syrup, or later on they would start smoking the sugar that gets added into the drinks. I'm not adding any sugar, and I'm not making a huge production out of this, so I am going to do a fun smoking with bakhur or incense. And the bakhur that's used, I was doing some research on that. It's either often or customary, it's called jawi or luban. So I was hoping I won't set my kitchen on fire while I'm chatting, but here we go. Okay, I'm going to add a charcoal. Oh, it's not coming. Here we go. This is really fun. I'm adding a charcoal to this vessel. Make sure it's heat proof. And this is not, you don't have to do this. You could just enjoy the drink as is. But since we're doing this live Ramadan show, I thought it would be fun. And this is the incense. So we're going to add few droplets of incense just around the charcoal. And you're going to see and watch. And please handle with care. This thing gets hot. So I could smell it right away. It starts coming up. Here we go. There you go. Here we go. So I'm going to cover it so we can encourage the bakhur or the smoke to come out. Here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to smoke my glass. So I'm going to go on top of it. Don't touch the vessel. Just go ahead and let your glass absorb all that smoke and just put it in there. And the incense has an amazing, almost therapeutic, almost spiritual smell to it. So we're going to smoke that. And for the sake of time, usually I would do it a little bit longer, but for the sake of time, I'm going to stop right here. That sounds amazing. So what I'm going to do is this mixture of date syrup and grape syrup and a little bit of rose water. I'm going to add a little bit to the bottom of my glass, and definitely do this in a big pitcher. If you're serving this for iftar, definitely serve it in a big pitcher. This would be much easier. And of course, I like to do 1 part syrup to 4 parts water, but you could do however, you could adjust it to however you like. Definitely you want to add some ice. So we're going to go ahead and add, oh, my ice clumped together. You get the idea. We're going to do some ice. This drink often also resembles summer. It's so refreshing. It's served ice cold, usually with crushed ice. So it's really nice and refreshing. We're going to add ice to this. And to that, I'm going to add water. This is how simple this drink is. The color of this drink is very, it's amber in color, but sometimes you would find it almost red in color, and that's just due to food coloring. A lot of vendors, you see this drink usually bottled and ready to use, and sometimes food coloring is added, but sometimes also burnt sugar is added to these drinks to make them really like deep and darken in color. Look at how beautiful this color. This is natural color for the date syrup and the grape syrup. So to that, the best part about this drink, like I said, are the ingredients that go on it. And this adds, if you're fasting all day, this adds to the energy and the calories that you would need for the rest of the evening. To that, we're going to add some pine nuts. You could do almonds, you could do cashews as well. And you would eat those with a spoon. It's so fun. And then since the drink has grape syrup, they add often, you would find raisins. So I'm going to add a little bit of raisins. And as the raisins and the pine nuts or the nuts get soaked in the liquid, it is so fun. They become plump and really delicious. I'm going to give that a quick stir. Some of them will settle at the bottom of this drink. And since we have rose water in the drink, always garnish with what you use in your product. So here we go. Some rose petals to go on top just for fun and to tell people, hey, there's rose water in there. And there's one version of this Jalab drink to bring refreshment, to bring energy to your day. Another way that's super easy and fun, same thing, you're going to add a little bit of syrup to the bottom of a glass, as much as you want. So 1 part syrup for me, 4 parts of water. But instead of just regular water, I am going to add a little bit more refreshing spin on this. Uh-oh. My ice clumped together. To that, I'm going to add a squeeze of lemon juice. Usually grapes are kind of tangy. My grape syrup was not tangy at all. So I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice. We're going to add a little bit of a lemon wedge and sparkling lemon water. I think that would be a refreshing twist. Also, almost like a mocktail for this drink. So here we go. Instead of water, just soda water, whatever flavor you want. And here you have it, Jalab. 2 ways, a great drink to break your fast or to enjoy during the hot summer days. Thank you so much, and so honored to be part of this Ramadan virtual iftar.
Beautiful. You made me thirsty. This is Nadia Tommalieh from Seattle. Thank you so much for joining us. Ramadan Kareem and happy Easter to everyone. I am, as I said, I'm from Seattle here. I'm based in Seattle and I'm Palestinian. And I'm a cooking instructor and a food blogger. I focus on teaching the flavors of the Arab world and mainly home-cooked meals that you don't see out there in restaurants. My teaching doesn't just focus on the food, it also focuses on the traditions and the stories behind the food that we eat and we grow up with. Today, we are going to be making a delicious condiment that I love and I always keep in my fridge. It's called mtawame, which in Arabic we call it mtawame. It's Toum sauce. This basically a basic sauce that you usually you would enjoy, generally you enjoy with fried chicken or roasted chicken, or maybe a chicken sandwich or chicken shawarma. I'm going to show you at the end also how I like to eat it. And also stick around for a few, twists that you can do to this simple sauce that we're going to be making. We have, 5 ingredients that we need for this sauce. I'm going to need a food processor, lots of garlic. I need the whole head of garlic, just, about 14 to 15 cloves, already, peeled. And I have 1 egg white, just the egg white we're going to need for this recipe, and 1/4 cup lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice, and then salt. At the end, we're going to use some vegetable oil, just 1 cup vegetable oil to thicken the sauce, to thicken the toum. Starting, I already gave heads up, to my, to Layla, that this is going to be loud. So when I turn it on, I think Layla is just going to mute me a little bit. So I'm just adding my garlic cloves here. As I said, about 14 to 15 cloves there. And then 1 egg white, just the egg white, 1/4 cup lemon juice, and then 1 teaspoon of sea salt. So this is a sauce that you can keep in the fridge. As I said, it's always in my fridge. You can often use it. I often use it if I'm barbecuing some chicken outside. I take some of this sauce with a brush on top of it. It gives it that really nice flavor. This is something that you can keep for about 4 or 5 days actually in the fridge as well. And before I turn this on, we're going to do this in 2 stages. The first one, just blending all the ingredients that we have, and then I'm going to come back on and just talk about the second stage and blend it again. So here we go. I'm just going to start with my processor.
How's it going, Layla? It's a great day. Yeah, Layla, can't wait to hear.
Was I muted? I was muted. So sorry. I was just saying how much I love Toum. And so I was wondering if you've ever made it. It's one of my favorite things.
I would rather just get it from the restaurants, but I love it. It's one of those essential places, and everybody has a secret formula for it. And now we get to see it live.
I know, we're so lucky to have an actual food instructor, a Palestinian food instructor from Seattle demonstrating us for this live. And hopefully people are taking notes so that when they make iftar or they make their Easter dinners or whatever meals they'll be creating during this month of Arab food making, that they can add this to just jazz up their dishes. But Hani, let's talk more. You were telling us, really powerful stories from Gaza, and I would love to hear kind of more of what our community could be. Oh, Nadia already finished?
I'll be back.
Well, you'll have to pause that story, Hani.
I'll be back.
All right, back over to Nadia.
I'm sorry, Hani, to cut you off, but I just finished actually the first step of making this sauce. This is a very simple sauce to make, really, in 4 or 5 minutes, and great to keep. So we're looking here at the consistency of yogurt, really, like that. So I just blended the garlic, egg white, lemon juice, and the salt. And then now is the next step. I'm going to be using just vegetable oil. And this is when we add it, we're going to be adding it in a drizzle, really like a hair, slowly. I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm just going to add it until everything is done. And you're going to notice, I don't know if you can see it from the screen, that this is going to thicken. Even the sound of the machine is going to change a little bit. So I'm going to turn it on, and Hani, you can finish your story.
Great. Yeah, I mean, Gaza is just amazing. They're resilient. There's a lot of, there's a lot of success stories. We're very proud of the Palestinians that went to UNRWA schools, or they've grown up eating UNRWA food, or got their education, or they got their vaccines through the UNRWA system. And that's great. We need smart, educated, and healthy Palestinians for whatever the future holds. Nobody disagrees that, what UNRWA does. And, yes, and is one example of kids I met. Can you imagine being a parent, and then Yazan wants a meal, and then, how would the mother feel, or the dad? Like, hey, we feel like no fault of their own. They're hard workers, where Venu and I were looking at statistics for a family where in Gaza, they spend more than 30% of whatever income they have on food. That's 30%. In America, do you know how much money we spend from our income? about 10%. So that just tells you the food expensive, unemployment is high, up to north of 60% of the Palestinians in Gaza are unemployed. And I don't want to get to the, blockade and siege. Those are still real. There's a pandemic going on, and we want your support because really, ultimately, it's about food. We want families like Yazans and other kids to be able to have food with their families. And your gift today of $50 can deliver just that. Back to you, Layla.
Thank you, Hani. And actually, back to Nadia.
So here we go. What we're looking for, the consistency here, if you can see, it's more of like a Lebanese now feel. It's a little bit thicker. I'm just going to add it to my plate here. I hope you can see it. So this quantity that we made will make you about 1.5 cups of Toum المتومة. As I said, you can keep it in the fridge. This is, I like to eat it. I know that we mentioned the chicken in the beginning, but my favorite way of eating it usually is with just some fresh tomatoes. Like I would take tomatoes like that and just add some of the mtawama on top of it, a little bit always of extra virgin olive oil and maybe summa, and this tastes just amazing. So that's just for the basic mtawama. For those who follow me on my social media at Nadia Tommalieh, you would notice that I always like to do that twist, to my recipes. So this is one thing that I like to do with mtawama. So I'm just gonna actually prepare a plate like this with just the regular mtawama here. I'm gonna keep it on the side, and then I'm gonna make another small plate like that, and then I'm gonna bring some of the beloved spice, the za'atar. I'm gonna add the za'atar on top of that, and actually give it a mix. This is really takes it like to a second, to another level of deliciousness, I call it. This is, you can eat this, like my kids like to call it. I like to eat this with French fries, with some, again, with the tomatoes will taste really, really fantastic. Here you go, I'm just gonna decorate it. And then another way I like to serve it, also, here you go, a third plate. And I'm gonna replace my za'atar with another beloved spice that we have, which is the sumac. And I'm gonna mix that again, just to add that a little bit citrusy flavor to it. And here, you could have it as just a regular mtawama, like that, infused with a little bit of Palestinian za'atar, or infused with also Palestinian sumac. The ways that I like to eat it, as I said, with the tomatoes, with a little bit of the drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and sumac as well. Another way is to eat it with some fried eggplant. I love this. Just a little bit of any of this combination, these three kinds with eggplant tastes fantastic. Again, one more thing is just French fries, which is the way how my family like it. And finally is with some crispy pita bread like that. I do hope that you enjoyed this recipe. Please. It's an honor to be part of this program today, and it's to be also part of this program and with the rest of the wonderful chefs and bloggers. Please give support. UNRWA has a special place in our heart. Thank you so much for keeping the hope for our Palestinian people going. So thank you so much for having me.
Hello, my name is Maha Kailani. I am a Palestinian food blogger. I started my food blog, my Instagram and my TikTok back in 2020, around when the lockdown happened. And I wanted to just show my creativity in the kitchen. I wanted to appeal to those that didn't know much about Palestinian cuisine, those that are maybe Palestinian, but they don't know how to make certain dishes. I love to show hacks, just modern twists of Palestinian food. And that's exactly what I'm showing you here today. Oh, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for this invitation to UNRWA. I'm so happy to be among great friends here and such talented people. Now, the star of the show here is this beloved Maftoul. Maftoul is very well known in Palestine, but we all know it as a chicken-based dish with a broth. But the way that I'm modernizing it here today is by creating it into a really healthy salad. Who needs quinoa when you have maftoul? So I already have this cooked. I cooked this earlier with just some salted water for about 10 minutes until it was just kind of like al dente. So I'm gonna put this here in my big salad bowl. And you can make this salad yours. You can put whatever vegetables, whatever herbs, whatever spices, whatever you like. So over here, I have some parsley. I have half a red onion. I have a sweet bell pepper, a cucumber, a tomato, and an eggplant, which is also, I know, very beloved to Palestinians. I air fried this until it was cooked and crispy. And so all you do is just basically put it all into one salad bowl. I need the help of my spoon. And the full recipe is on my page. And honestly, you can make this salad yours. During Ramadan, all we see is basically like fattoush on the tables, which is lovely. I love fattoush. But this is just a different thing, you know? It'll definitely surprise people. And honestly, whenever I've served this, everyone has loved it. And to add a little bit of sweetness, I have some soaked raisins. You can add cranberries, you can leave them out, whatever you like. And I have some roasted walnuts. You can choose whatever kind of nuts you like. I have walnuts here. On my page, I used roasted pistachios. But walnuts will do the trick here. And now my favorite part is the dressing. The dressing is so good and very Palestinian inspired. Over here, I have olive oil, I have some vinegar, some sumat, a little bit of za'atar, some Aleppo pepper, just so many different things. You can make this yours as long as you have your olive oil and your acid. As long as it's like vinegar or lemon juice, you can change it to whatever spices, whatever herbs that you like. So I'm just gonna give that a quick mix. And then pour it all on top. And this dressing gets soaked up by the maftoul, and it's so good. Like, it's so good, so tangy. So I'm just gonna give it a quick mix here. And the eggplant soaks up all that deliciousness, the maftoul. This is just a nice, like, healthy way of eating maftoul. You don't have to always have it in, you know, the chicken-based dish. This is just another way of serving it, which I personally love. And there you go. Because I prepared the maftoul earlier, it kind of stuck together, but that's okay. If it's freshly made, it won't be as stuck together as mine is. And I already smell the aroma. It smells so good. I smell that za'atar, I smell that vinegar, I smell that olive oil. And these little pieces of eggplants, they're just gonna soak it all up. And the maftoul, oh, it's so good. And it's just gonna be like a nice, interesting addition to your iftar table. You can consider this even as an appetizer, not really even a salad, because it's so hefty with ingredients and vegetables, and the maftoul is very filling as well. But there you go. Palestinian maftoul salad. It's so refreshing. You definitely have to give this a try. Thank you, UNRWA, for inviting me. And I will hand it back to you, Leila.
Hi guys, it's me, Dena from Cook with Dena. I'm Palestinian American. And before I finish my intro, I just want to thank Leila and Diala for hosting this event. It's beautiful, beautiful cause. And I really hope everybody is helping out with that $50 donation. $50 is nothing to us here in America. We spend it going to Starbucks with the family. So don't ever overthink the donations. A little goes a long way, trust me. Anyway, I'm born and raised in Texas. I'm from Silat al-Dahir and Palestine. I've never been to Palestine, unfortunately. Most of my family moved from Palestine to Kuwait and from Kuwait to Jordan, and I was born in Texas. So we say y'all. I've got a little bit of a twang, and I love bringing Palestinian food to life, especially here in America. That's why I started my social media page. If you know me on a personal level, you would know I've always been a foodie. I grew up in the food business. My parents have Middle Eastern stores here in Texas. So food is just second nature to me. What I am making today is actually showing you some Palestinian staples that can be great as an appetizer or as a meal, especially if you're vegetarian. This is perfect for you. Lots of these are gluten-free as well. Not everything though. Let me show you. I need to move my camera so I can show you my appetizer board that we're gonna put together. All right, so here is our board. Happy Ramadan, by the way. Sorry, I've not used to doing lives all the time, but here you've got your board. I've got some baba ghanoush, which is a delicious roasted eggplant dip with tahini, garlic, lemon juice, and salt. I've got the recipe for all these things on my Instagram and other social media pages, Cook with Dena. Here you've got some creamy hummus, Jebneh, which is a kefir cheese. It's basically like a strained yogurt. And I've topped it with some fresh mint. And here you've got mini manaish, za'atar pies. You can't get more Palestinian than having za'atar and olive oil. So it's just a great way to start your meal. So when you're breaking your fast, definitely you always want to start with dates. So here's our dates that we're adding to our board. And also some dried fruit. It gives you like a good restore on the energy that you've lost throughout the day. So we're gonna add that. I put it on some bamboo skewers. Something you should know about me is I love putting everything on a board. I love charcuteries. It's really fun for me. And it's just something that I like to give a Palestinian twist to, or, make it more simplified for the person that lives here in America. Like I'm known to go to the grocery store and share basically how you can make a meal using American groceries, which is really cool. They really enjoy that. So what we have here so far is the 3 dips, our dates, our dried apricots. We're gonna start garnishing our dips and then we'll garnish our board. On our hummus, we're gonna top it with some pine nuts. And some olive oil. By the way, my olive oil is from Silat al-Dahir. It is from Palestine, from my homeland. I have a friend that's father has a olive farm, and so I'm very lucky to get it from there. We're also gonna put some olive oil on our Jebneh. Very simple presentation, but a little goes a long way. You'll see how it looks when we're all done. On the baba ghanoush, we'll be topping it with some pomegranates. I just love the sweet, tangy crunch that pomegranates gives. And then we're just gonna go ahead and put our spoon in so it's easier to serve and top that with olive oil. If you notice, a lot of our meals do have a lot of olive oil in them. It's very healthy for you. It's a great fat and it's wonderful for your diet. So now we're going to be adding some pickles. Those go great with these dips. And now we're gonna put some cucumber. I like to use the cucumber as a board, and I'll show you why in just a second. It acts as a really great board, barrier, like a little wall for anything that might be loose that could fall off the board. Just like this. And then using this as a guide for us, we're going to go ahead and put in our pita chips. See how the cucumbers are just holding it all in place? All right, now we'll be putting some tomatoes. Some really big staples in the Palestinian diet is olives, za'atar, the zit, olive oil, fresh vegetables. It's a very healthy diet. It's very beautiful. I love it. All right. And then we'll be putting some jarjir, which is also known as arugula. Let's put some here to add some color. And some here in the middle. Put some bell peppers. It's always fun putting together a charcuterie. This is great for guests. This is great if you're introducing Palestinian cuisine to somebody that might not be familiar with it. It's not such an intimidating way of introducing it to them the first time. Of course, some Palestinian green olives. We've got some radishes. And then we've got some breadsticks. And this comes together very quickly, as you can see. The only problem we have today is that I'm still fasting, so we can't dig in, which is very, very unfortunate for me. I'm gonna have to wrap it up and keep it waiting for us to devour at iftar time. In case you're wondering why we can't eat during the day, it's basically from sunrise to sunset is when we don't eat. So it's doable. We wake up before sunrise and have suhoor usually. This would actually make a great suhoor board as well. And that's pretty much it for my board. Let me come back on camera. Can y'all see everything great?
It is absolutely stunning. I know I speak for everyone. I just want to say, wow, the colors. It's a beautiful Palestinian rainbow board of healthy goodness. And you just made magic happen in just a couple of minutes. You alongside of all of our other presenters so far. And we have 2 more to close out the demo portion, but I want everyone to stick around because we're going to have a live Q&A in about 10 minutes time, and it's worth sticking around. Dena, that's really bravo.
Thank you. I finished a little faster than I expected, but
well, you've done your Palestinian siblings proud, and I think all of us are going to have to make that board for this evening's meal because it's perfection.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hosting me.
Of course, of course. I just came on because I wanted to thank you, and I wanted to remind everyone watching, hit the share button on your screen. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, hit share. If you're having trouble hitting the donate button, it's because YouTube doesn't hyperlink it in the comments. So copy paste it, put it into your browser, make that donation, get these recipes because they're our gift to you, courtesy of our chefs. If you make a donation today, and more importantly, you know that that donation is going to provide food for families and children like Yazan in Gaza. So please do not miss your chance to do just a little good. That's going to go such a long way. And it takes even quicker than the time to make this gorgeous charcuterie board. Dena, will we see your face before we transition to our next chef?
Yes, let me try to get back. Sorry,
everyone that's new to the broadcast, don't ever be sorry. Please tell us your name, where you're tuned in from, and what is your favorite Palestinian food. We want to know. This is a celebration of culture, of family, of beautiful resilience of Palestinians and the refugees. Yes, we see you. That was excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Dena, we'll see you in the Q&A. Thank you. Okay, I wasn't planning to come on screen, but I hope you heard the message and that you take action. And I am going to bring to the screen from Jerusalem, Palestine, again, live, we have Izzeldin Bukhari of Sacred Cuisine. Welcome, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Ramadan Kareem. I wish the Muslim people easy fasting, and also our Christians friend also easy fasting on the Linnet. This month is special. This time is special because it's Ramadan for the Muslims, and also for the Christian it is the Easter fasting, and it is also a spring, which means we have a lot of beautiful produce coming this season. I'm Izzeldin Bukhari from the old city of Jerusalem, Palestine. I am the founder of Sacred Cuisine. Sacred Cuisine as a company focus on telling the Somi food. The Somi food basically is the vegan food in our culture. It's since thousands of years, and it is coming from the lineage practice. And the best example of this practice and what brought to us dishes to the table is the falafel. Falafel was created because of the lineage fasting, and that's why we have falafel. So this period contributed heavily to our cuisine to have many delicious vegetarian vegan dishes, and that's exactly what I celebrate in my company. I focus on cooking vegetarian and vegan Palestinian food with a twist. Also, I do food tours in the old city of Jerusalem, cooking classes. I'm very passionate about sharing the Palestinian culture and cuisine with the world. And that's why today I chose for you a very special dish. It's called the Akoub. First of all, before I jump into the Akoub, I want to thank UNRWA and everybody is joining and contributing and supporting people in Gaza. It means a lot to me because my mother family, they refugees from Ramleh to Gaza. So I basically every summer I used to go to Gaza since I was born up till 2000. So I have many relatives in Gaza, my aunts, and also my sister live in Gaza. And Gaza is such a beautiful city since so many beautiful memories in Gaza. And it's so sad to see the situation of Gaza today and since the siege. And that's why I really appreciate your effort and joining and supporting the Palestinian people, especially in Gaza. And that's why I chose actually this time for this recipe to cook Akoub. Akoub as a recipe and as a dish, it is very special. It's a delicacy, and it is right now in the season. So we see Akoub everywhere in the market. And who are not familiar with Akoub, Akoub basically in English called gondila, something like this. And it is part of the artichoke family. It have a taste similar to artichoke, asparagus, delicate taste, still earthy, and it is something divine. It take a lot of work and a lot of effort to cook it because it's come with these thorns, which is actually very sharp, and most of the time you spend cleaning this Akoub, and this is how it is. This is how they sell it, and it is like 70% clean. The farmers kind of pre-clean it for us, but still you have to clean it. When you buy it as it is, or when you forge it, it will be covered with thorns. But this delicacy, it's now in season, and one of the way we cook it with a dried yogurt. A dried yogurt is basically what we call Kishik. It's the contribution of the Bedouin to the cuisine. They figure out a way to preserve dairy in the desert and in the hot weather. And with this Kishik, we have the most famous dish which we eat in every occasion, either from birth to graduation to a wedding. We eat a mansaf, which is with this dried yogurt stew and a lamb meat. But there is other series of dishes we do with the dried kishik, such as the akoub and also the green almond. Green almond is also in season, and this is one of the delicacy also we cook is a green almond. So today for this recipe, I decided to take akoub and a green almond and cook them together. And actually the flavor is amazing. It took a lot of time to cook and prepare, so I did it way before we had our iftar, about 2 hours. So we ate long time ago, but I kept for you a plate to kind of give you idea how the dish look like. And it is basically on a bed of basmati rice with some za'afaran, real za'afaran, because this dish deserve the extra step. So basically, the way you cook this dish is very simple. You take the kishik, if you have it, the dry yogurt, and you basically cut it to small pieces, shred it, soak it in water for like 30 minutes. And after this, run it through a strainer and make sure you take all the small glums and everything and then put it to boil. Add some bay leaves and cardamom, which is necessity for this dish, and this is what will bring a lot of flavor. And you don't need to add any salt because this is very, very salty. And after you finish cleaning your akoub, as the process goes, when you clean the akoub, we basically clean it, and after we finish, we put it in a salty water to ensure, again, the thorns does not to grow. And after that, we blanch it. We cook it in water. I like to cook it extra to make sure it melt in your mouth. And after it is cooked, the akoub and the green element, I add them to the yogurt and I let them cook and simmer for like 30 minutes at least, so the flavors can come together. And this dish, as a mansaf, as akoub with the dried yogurt stew, is have very special flavor, and it is fermented yogurty dairy dish. So some people really love it. If you love it, if you like the dish, you really love it. And some people kind of feel it. It's a little bit heavy, which you can use yogurt to kind of break down this strength of the fermented yogurt and dairy. And of course, pine nuts and almonds for extra protein, and also to give that a crunch on the dish. And also, this is the dish actually akoub as a recipe. It's really good kind of way to explore to display the Palestinian cuisine as far improvising and as far utilizing. In our cuisine, what I like about it, we use the vegetable that produce on a different stages, such as the green element. We use it, we eat it when it is still green. And here in Palestine, when I used to be a kid, after I finished school, you go out from the school and there will be a farmer selling some green almond or a green cherry or a green plum. They will sell you some with salt, and this is like one of the way we as a little kid grow up eating almond in Palestine. We will just crunch it, put it in a salt, and continue to eat. And this idea, me as a chef now, this is my career, and this is what I love to do. It just to blow my mind how we take this, how we improvise and find a way to utilize the vegetable in such different way when it's still green, such as frike. It's a green wheat, it's picked when it's green, and it's totally have a different dimension portfolio, which is give us more diversity in the same ingredient in itself. And also for something such as akoub or even fava bean, which take a lot of work and preparation to do, people still do it, even though green bean grow in different parts of the world. Still, here in Palestine, we cook it as it's a green, not also as it dries. So this is one of the things I really enjoy as a chef, especially being in Palestine, especially in this season. It's one of my favorite seasons after the olive season, of course, because this season have so much of a green, spring, beautiful, interesting, and a delicacy ingredient to bring to our table. And basically, I cooked akoub for this season 5 times. This is the 5th time, and it is about to finish. It is very short season, so I'm very happy also to do this recipe for this fundraising, and I hope you enjoy. And for who don't have akoub or green almond, you can substitute it with the green fava bean if you have access to green fava bean, or you don't have access even with cauliflower. We have a dish, the mtaffaye, which we make out of deep fried cauliflower cooked with the kishik. There is many series of dishes coming with the kishik, not only the mansaf with the lamb, and there's many other dishes they celebrate. The vegetables are in season. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you will try it. If you have any question about the recipe, contact me at Sacred Cuisine. I'm from the old city of Jerusalem. Also, we provide some of these ingredients to to be delivered to your home. So make sure you check Sacred Cuisine for a future product about to join the market, which is we will be able to bring you from the old city of Jerusalem to your table some Palestinian ingredient. I hope you will enjoy.
Hi everyone, I'm Marah. I'm one of the faces behind the Instagram page Bateekh Jebneh. For those of you who do not know, I share this page with my mom. It's essentially a food blog where we share Palestinian and Middle Eastern recipes with the world. We've had the page for a couple of years now, I believe, and the main aim of the page has always been to share Palestine with the world, to share the culture, the heritage, the food, but also the struggle. So this is why it means the world to us to be here today amongst all of you. So we would like to thank Layla for having us. We would like to thank the entire UNRWA team for putting something so special together during the month of Ramadan. It's a cause that is very close to our hearts, and it feels very special to be in the position to spread awareness and to raise money for Palestinian refugees. And so in honor of today's Ramadan virtual kitchen for Palestinian refugees, we have decided to share an authentic Palestinian dessert recipe, knafa nabilsiye or knafa na'meh. It is an authentic, delicious recipe that you guys will love. It's very simple to make and it's perfect for the month of Ramadan. So we hope you guys tune in and enjoy. All right, everyone. So let's get started on the fariki knafa. We're going to need a few simple ingredients that we're going to combine in a large bowl to form a dough. So we will start with 3.5 cups of flour, half a cup of semolina, you can use fine or coarse, half a cup of cornstarch,
Hey everyone, I'm going to try to restart that special video message from Bateekh Jebneh. Give me one moment while we try to resolve that because I want you to enjoy the full demonstration. It is so beautiful, so bear with me, and if we have any issues for whatsoever, we'll end up sharing this in a different way. So just hold on one moment and stick around because our Q&A with the chefs is coming up.
and half a cup of powdered milk along with 1 teaspoon of Hi everyone, I'm Marah. I'm one of the faces behind the Instagram page.
You know, I might be having an internet issue on my end, so we will do a very special resharing of that video on our platform, and we will make sure that all of you have the opportunity to see that special presentation from Bateekh Jebneh, which they sent their presentation all the way from Qatar, and we're so lucky to have them. I actually want to keep us going so we can get to our Q&A. I'd like to welcome to the screen now from Chicago, our new communications manager, Jalab, and all of our wonderful chefs. I'm going to bring them on screen. All right, everyone. First, I just want to give everyone a round of applause. That was amazing. What a show. And Diala, please, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Layla, and thank you to all the chefs that were able to make it here today. Amazing, amazing work. I feel really bad for all of us who are fasting today. I am sure it was very difficult for them to watch, but I'm also very confident that people will be taking all those recipes and including them in their iftar menus moving forward. So we do have a couple of questions here from the audience and from us as well. So I will get us started. Our first question is from Zach Grename, and he is asking what inspired all the chefs to become food bloggers. So whoever wants to take a stab at that question, please feel free to do so.
You know, we can unmute Nadia. Did you want us to repeat the question?
Dena.
Oh, you can go ahead, please. In order of the screen, anyone wants to chime in?
We are muted, so that's why, you know. Thank you so much for your questions. You know, I moved here to the United States about a little bit over 25 years ago. For me, one of the things, I started cooking at a very young age. I flipped my first maqloube. I was 12 years old. after insisting on my mom that I need to flip that, I fell in love with food at a very young age. I moved to the United States and I really missed that family meals that we used to have. I moved actually here for work in the business world, in the computer world. And I came and I decided that I would like to continue this journey and give that taste that I had to my kids as well. Because I started my life here, and then later on I had 3 boys, and they love and enjoy the food. And I wanted to share also the stories that comes behind this food as well. And with that also, I started teaching and sharing, the food and the culture with their schools, with neighbors, with friends, and and this is, the rest is history.
That is beautiful. Did anyone want to share also their reason? Go ahead.
Yes. So I think everybody surrounded, that's in my circle of friends or family got sick of my food pictures on my personal Instagram page and on my Facebook page. They're like, you need to just go ahead and make a page for your food because that's all you're posting anyway. Might as well share it. And I had a lot of people that would come to me and ask how to simplify cooking. I don't like staying in the kitchen for many hours like my mom does. She'll be in the kitchen for hours and there's not a lot of measurements, but her food is, mashallah, it's the best, So it took a lot of time for me to get my measurements down using the cup and tablespoon and teaspoons, the real measuring tools, mish kaset shay or kaset may and all that stuff, So a lot of people are like, you need to share this because we don't have measurements either. Our moms don't measure. So that's why I started my page, because first off, I just love posting about food, and they wanted people around me wanted the recipes that I was writing, and they were like, we're sure other people are going to want the same. And alhamdulillah, boom, 3 years ago I started it. So I'm really proud of where it's going. I'm just all over the place trying to keep up with social media.
Sorry, it takes me a second to unmute. It's so beautiful to hear from each one of you. And in fact, I want to ask you questions for hours, but we also want to respect your time. And I know that some of you have commitments after this call. You're teaching classes, or it's late at night in Jerusalem, or you have, families to get to. And so we want to make sure that we respect that time. And I would love to see if you'd be interested to do a part 2 with us at some time where we can either talk to you individually on our social media or do another conversation with all of you, since we are a bit at time for today's program. Diala, if you wanted to add anything there.
I couldn't agree with you more, Layla. I wish we could sit and speak about everything that we have in mind and all your stories and all your inspirations and dishes, but we are at time. So we are going to think about having a part 2 of this where it's more discussion based and everyone can have some airtime. So thank you so much again for your time and for your generosity, and we will be in touch.
Yes, before we end the show, I want to repeat my thanks, and we want to bring on the fundraising team so that they can give us a reminder of the reason why we're all here. All of you chefs showed us the most beautiful dishes, and you put your heart into your food, and thank you for your endorsement of this important work and our mission to make life better for Palestinian refugees all across the Middle East, but especially right now in Gaza and meeting their food needs. We will see you soon, inshallah. We can't wait to connect with you more on social media. We hope everyone follows these various pages. We will share all the links. All the links are actually in the description of the video, so please go and follow Nadia, Maha, Mai, Izzeldin, Dena, and UNRWA USA. And at this point, I'm going to welcome, like I said, to the stage our fundraising team.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. Good to be back. Happy Friday. I'm surprised nobody said happy Friday. So how you guys feeling? How are things going? Nahid, Vino?
Hungry. Very hungry.
Yeah, I really feel the same way. Everything I saw was just absolutely incredible. So amazing stuff.
Well, great. Donations that came in as well. How's the fundraiser going so far, Vinny?
So I'm literally calculating as we speak, and we just got a donation, so I'm going to add to that. So we have We have almost $1,700 in donations so far, and
Great.
one new recurring plan. So thank you to everyone that made their generous donations. We want to keep it going. And so, I was just thinking, Hanny, there's got to be something that we can offer for
Yes, it's
right?
the month of generosity. Our people are, asking for this. So let's just throw in a good deal for our amazing audience and chefs, anybody who wants to take us up on this offer. So Venu, what do you have? What do we have
So
to offer?
obviously, we all know that if you've made a donation today, that you're going to be getting the recipes from our amazing, incredible chefs and vloggers. But I want to do it one up. So if you make a donation of at least $50, or you create a new recurring plan, monthly donation with UNRWA USA, you will get a beautiful Gather for Gaza t-shirt before Eid. And if we can pull up the design by chance of what the t-shirt will have on it. So make a $50 donation. And Hani, I think I want to be a bit more generous about the time. We said before 3 p.m. Eastern, but I'm sure that there are so many viewers there that were really immersed in the video. So I want to give until 3:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to give an extra half an hour to go make your donation, give at least $50, or become, one of our first 50 monthly donors, and you'll get a really, really cool Gather for Gaza t-shirt. I think that it's a sweet deal, and most importantly, you'll be providing food assistance for so many refugee families in need. And the need is no greater than now.
That's wonderful. I think this is great. And folks, remember, this is really about the families. This is what we're doing here, to provide food for families, for their parents. We make sure, they have food assistance. A $50 donation will deliver food for families who need it, and families they may not eat otherwise. So I hope you take us up on this offer of token of appreciation. And, our colleagues Nahid and Vino logged in on this call from New York, where they are based now, but we're thrilled that you were able to join us. Nahid, any final thoughts as we close this?
Well, please, on behalf of these wonderful chefs and the emptiness in your stomach, please fill your hearts. Don't forget to donate. And thank you for showing Palestine refugees that Americans care.
I want to add one thing, if it's okay. So we're at almost $1,900, and every single person that's donated so far has already qualified for the t-shirt.
Wow.
So that's
fireworks.
awesome. I mean,
the fireworks.
We're getting at least $50 in gifts. So I just want to thank everyone and keep it going. Really keep it going. And you'll get an awesome t-shirt before Eid.
For the record, that's 400 months of food assistance for families in Gaza, the amount that we've received. So let's keep that going. Thanks, guys.
So yes, more food for families. And before we go, guys, can we give a big shout out to our amazing host, our amazing MC, Layla. Bravo. Layla, yatik al-afia. It's all you. Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work. And we're waiting for your donations. We're standby. Any questions? We're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabab. I'll catch you all later. My dear UNRWA USA colleagues just shared with you all the ways you can provide food for Palestine refugees this month. They offered you so many incentives, from receiving a Gather for Gaza shirt, which is super gorgeous, a cool shirt designed by Zaindi out of Seattle, a Palestinian designer. And so, and the recipes from today's chefs, which is an exclusive gift for anyone who donates. So please, $50 or more, provide food for a family for an entire month. Do something good. And remember, it is zakat eligible. If that's something that's meaningful to you, give generously and it will be returned to you tenfold, inshallah. So please come through with your donations. Every single dollar counts and it all adds up. For everyone who donates today, again, the recipes of the show, courtesy of the chefs, and the $50 to start a monthly gift, a cool Gather for Gaza shirt. I can't emphasize that enough. Thank you to the chefs, the supporters, our beloved viewers. Shout out to the entire UNRWA USA team behind the scenes, Abbas and Mama's Palestinian Kitchen community. I hope you join their group. And most importantly, the Palestine refugees that we exist to serve, and our colleagues across the Middle East, most of whom are refugees themselves, working day in, day out under the most challenging of circumstances, under occupation, under blockade, under military assaults and war. And we need you to show up for them so they can carry on these life-changing UNRWA programs for as long as they are needed. That's our show for today, folks. Ramadan Kareem. Happy early Easter. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all of the support that you are providing and for showing Palestine refugees that Americans care. Till next time.